Welcome to a new session of Inside Festival. We are in the Ars Electronica Center, behind us the beautiful blue Danube, and today we have again a very special guest, and I'm more than honored of having started the series with Manu and now more or less ending it, as we are only 8 days away of the actual festival. And we have a topic that is actually kind of the red thread through the whole festival production to all the topics that we have been developing with our partners around the world, a call to action. And last year, we visited our partner around the world, asking them, how are they? How are you in the end? To hear about the different concerns, to hear about the topics that to a large part have been hidden under this veil of the pandemic that was suddenly the emphasis of every news magazine, of every TV station around the world. This year, it is time to act. We see, when just looking at the news, fires burning everywhere on so many different levels, whether it's actual fires, whether it's water floods, whether it's hurricanes, and whether it's socio-political crisis. And we simply asked ourselves, what is the role and what kind of role can a festival like the Ars Electronica Festival take in this context? How can a festival trigger transformation and change? And how can we motivate everyone to take a step forward? We initiated a call to action. In the very first meeting with our partners, we asked them to get in contact with local initiatives, with local activists, with individuals that are already working on creating a better tomorrow for us all. And they don't wait for policymakers, for policy leaders to change their mindsets. They don't wait for large companies to change their regulations. Those individuals, those institutions that are now introduced by many of the partners on the festival platform, they have taken things into their own hand. And we have a map then developed around the world that show us those different initiatives that started to put themselves into action, so to say. We see how individuals do something good for their community and thereby state examples that can be taken now as best practice examples and maybe inspire one or the other around the world. And the first partner that we'd like to introduce is actually the garden in Taipei, also called Garden Formosa. Formosa is somehow a very poetic name that derives from the former Republic of Formosa, which was the name of the Republic of Taiwan in the end of the 19th century. And they have developed an action tour for us under this title of We Are What We Do. And they are introducing Minibits, a startup from Taiwan that are committed themselves to developing technology for recycling and that turns industrial and household waste into materials for purposes and also quite aesthetic actually. The second call to action project, so to say, what they are introducing is the Taipei Urban Intelligence Center. And they have developed a digital system that can quickly respond to risk landscape, people flows, and media resources across different parts of Taipei. And they are integrating streaming data and instantly available data into their algorithms. So now the Garden of Taipei will introduce us to their call to action tour.
Four years ago, MiniWiz started a journey to create the first mobile recycling line, the Trashpresso. Using press machines, shredders, ovens, and other industrial equipment, Trashpresso is able to recycle trash anywhere. While TP1 traveled around the world, MiniWiz developed a new generation of Trashpresso. A modular system with a smaller footprint for easier transportation and higher energy efficiency. With a new system of heat induction presses and specific molds for different parts, the process has become faster and more efficient. The new Trashpresso complements Robin, MiniWiz's smart trash collection system. We will track every single piece of your trash from the moment you throw it away till the time we put it back in the game. Furthermore, new Trash Presso can be upgraded with a robot arm that will do the dirty job. Technology, engineering, design, ingenuity, creativity, and passion. This is Trash Presso 2.0, the mini Trash Presso.
The world of data is a cross-domain creation. Taipei City established Intelligent Operations Center to gather and analyze massive data from various city agents and departments. The project represents the importance of data and information as a way of a people's voice. Experimenting with different possibilities of data visualization include mixed reality, motion capture system with real-time visual effect. Last, mimicking cloud machine through the robot arm, realizing data-driven art and data-driven city.
And now we're moving on to Newcastle, and I'm happy to present you the project from this garden. It is located in the Australian coastal region of the Hunter, a place that is quickly evolving and transforming into a new epicenter for collaboration between art, science, technology, and society. After already preparing a program for our Ars Electronica online festival last year, the institution Art Thinking Australia has found a home deep inside a unique creative and cultural ecosystem that sees academia, industry, governance, and artists working alongside each other to create the future city. The garden is curated with the ethos of open, accessible, and transdisciplinary education for all of society. The directors and organizers of the garden, Maria José, Christl, and Raleigh, believe a future smart city means smarter future citizens and therefore young minds under 18. They are the real future experts that will take center stage to calibrate the compass and help to navigate the digital impact of our tomorrow. And now you will hear more about their program that is especially focused on a program about experts of the future and introduces a new Future Innovators Summit program dedicated to participants under 19. Now take a closer look.
"2020 was the first time in more than a decade that I personally wasn't able to attend the Ars Electronica Festival. By coincidence, I found myself here in the city of Newcastle, and Ars Electronica reached out and said, how about doing a garden there? That garden last year became the catalyst for establishing the Art Thinking company here in the region, and we have been receiving overwhelming support from the city, the university, and other partners to base ourselves here. This year, we want to use the garden to showcase the projects we have been developing with our partners that are very much inspired by the Ars Electronica ethos of intersecting and converging art, technology, and society. This includes a laneway exhibition in the regional town of Singleton, the university's new Future Art Science Technology Laboratory, the Clyde Street Precinct, and the Future Innovators Summit with the Newcastle Council. But most importantly, we want to focus on the local voices of our youth and children, the real experts of the future, And also we want to promote the art community who provide the visionary soil for the art thinking company to grow.
Newcastle is a thriving creative hub. We have strong roots in the nurturing artistic network that has always shown a diverse, active and responsive arts culture. We're grateful to have more artists per capita than any other city in Australia. It's important to nurture the creative minds of our young future experts. We must guide them to learn in ways that only artists are willing to explore through experimentation and risk-taking. Our young future experts will explore a space of imagination and creation. It will allow them to visualise their concepts and forecast a future that they can build. It is fundamental for them to break away from our systems and find an opportunity to think freely and contribute to the makings of their future. Children live in a world of imagination. They thrive off being in a space that is constructed and built from free play and open creativity.
Well, what is the Feast? The Feast in Ars Electronica is a vibrant space to create and expose the ideas. Having time to think together is a great invention that we have lost, and not only for us, but also for the future generations. The program is designed for agents of change, the change makers, with the objective of asking, reflecting, and activating issues that will trigger a better future. What is needed? Well, we have a mindset of learning by doing, do tank, a unique location with an environment that inspires and invites to create, focus in the questions, tomorrow agendas. A diversity of participation of open spaces that interact like this beautiful city and spaces. Collaboration of diverse actors, facilitators, mentors, visualizations, and the audience. A space for thinking to create a new generation of open thinking to imagine and change to the world.
So we want to say a big thank you to Ars Electronica.
And the many other international partners around the world to make this possible.
So we'll see you in the Hunter region, Newcastle, very soon.
See you then.
Bye for now.
Experts of the Future is a program that you might have heard before mentioned by us here. We are inviting partners from around the world to ask their youngsters, their children, to tell us about how they want their planet to be and to turn out in the next 10 years. And Christl Baur and his garden in Newcastle are taking this very seriously and to a next level in terms of thinking about how they can really actively integrate their bright minds into those decisions. Speaking about community, this year's festival is really about connecting everyone. It's about creating a new community for media arts, creating a new community that can take this call to action rather seriously. And if you want to be part of that community, you have several ways. You can start with looking on our website to find out where the closest garden might be in your near proximity, and then go there actually to go get directly in contact with the garden organizers to speak with the artists there on site, because many of those gardens that are participating in the festival are actually organizing events on site in their respective cities and places. If unfortunately you live far away from a place where we are hosting a garden, you have the chance of participating online, of becoming a part of the online festival. And there we have prepared a lot of different community and networking events for you. On the one side, we have a lot of workshops focusing on those different topics. We have guided tours that connect, again, gardens from around the world, bring in the different protagonists in smaller groups, so really an exchange is possible. But we also offer many actual networking events, such as a daily artist drink, where you can meet the protagonists that on a daily basis try to find new ideas, new solutions, new approaches to our problems. On the other side, we have, you can meet the experts of the Future Lab who are celebrating their 25th anniversary in a networking session, hear more about their praxis and how their daily lives look like here in Linz. On the other side, we will have an Excel spreadsheet party that might not sound first as a party, but be surprised, it is a very fun gathering. And we will have a 24-hour rave starting on Saturday during the festival, besides many more of such activities. Have a look into our schedule and find the best possible suitable project for you. Now to a very special project that we started to develop this year in order to bring the community together, a festival buddy system. So if you are interested in this, please don't forget to mark that checkbox in your accreditation so that you can get a buddy that you can explore the festival together with. And I'm not going to further explain what the buddy system is because our dear colleague Niels Gallist produced a very fantastic, incredible, funny video that shows you now what is gonna happen. Have a look.
The world as we know and love it can be big and scary sometimes. From unexplored jungles with poisonous animals everywhere, to vast and dry deserts of Africa, dangerous oceans, of which we will have a whole lot more the next decades, and city landscapes, modern miracles and a testament of human resourcefulness. And then there's you. And all you wanted was to explore the Ars Electronica Festival, but it's too big, too much to see on your own. No worries, we got you. Introducing your buddy.
Hello, bonjour, grot, English?
Oh, yes, English, sorry.
No problem. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. This place is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. That's fine. Do you want to go see some stuff?
Yeah, sure. What do we want to do?
I just want to do all of it. Let's just go see everything.
But how do you actually find a buddy to explore the festival with? After signing up for the buddy system, we're going to throw all the names in a bucket and draw random 2 people. Out of all the potential participants, this one is your new favorite. You can now experience the festival together, and since a huge part of the festival will be held online, you can experience it from virtually everywhere and on any device. Well, maybe not every device, but I think you manage. Now go and get yourself a buddy. Check out the festival. Maybe there's an exhibition near you, but there is definitely one online.
Wow, what an amazing video to introduce the buddy system of the festival. Thank you, Niels. The next program that we present you is a very ambitious project by 3 young men. The times we are currently living through are characterized not only by the pandemic, but also by global protest movements. In recent years, various activist groups have often used the slogan "By 2020 we rise up" as a warning to politicians and corporations. The documentary film "The 2020 Rise Up" addresses the substance of this slogan and examines protest culture, which in 2020 was overshadowed by the coronavirus but couldn't be stopped. In the 2020 Rise Up, the filmmakers show not only climate protests to the mass but also protests about the mass anti-government protests in Hong Kong. And they were also able to interview key figures in these movements. With impressive foresight, Johannes Rass, Julian Pixel-Schmiederer and Gregor Franz have created an entire documentary film on this subject. Their documentary film work is highly professional and got a young professional honorary mention from the Prix Ars Electronica, and we will now take a closer look at it. The Birth of Things, Where Are We Standing? Is the title of the impressive work by Maria Ignacia Cort and Trinidad Piris from Chile. It is a 6-part podcast that is hosted on the multimedia platform Border Podcast. Each episode tells the history of Chile's social movements from the perspective of the objects that have shaped them. The saucepans that were banged in the streets, the yellow vests worn by protesters, the turnstile that was vaulted over by students refusing to pay fares, the face masks worn on marches, and a unique interview at a retired police weapons rehabilitation center. The final episode was Constitutional Therapy, where the current Chilean constitution, created in the middle of Pinochet's dictatorship, decides that it is ready to heal its past and go to therapy. The social convulsion followed by the global pandemic has forced the people from Chile to change many of their habitats and priorities. Everyone had to look inward to understand what is not working anymore and how they might stand again. So the question came up, where are we standing right now? We see that we are lost and that maybe it is time to face it. Where Are We Standing takes as its starting point the Constitutional Therapy podcast episode and continues the journey of this lost constitution through the production of a film episode, through a film essay and interactive performance. The artists want to explore issues of uncertainty, loss, memory and desire. Where Are We Standing will interrogate the notion of not knowing being a driver towards science, art and self-transcendence. It will invite us to be part of this reflection.
Border Podcast presenta El estallido de las cosas. Cuando reventó el estallido social, lo sentimos todas las que estábamos en la cocina. Por primera vez yo tenía una voz. Nos tocaban mujeres, niños, adultos, ancianos, y yo ya no me sentía una olla de teflón. Era un cuenco tibetano, su señoría. Hasta que un día aparecieron ellos, estos humanos que el fiscal tanto defiende. Y un carabinero me agarró del mango y yo, para defenderme, intenté soltarme, pero me agarró con más fuerza y yo en ese momento sentí una rabia descontrolada que me hizo golpearlo en la cara.
Después de todo lo que acabo de ver, de revivir y de los años que llevo queriendo cambiar, entiendo que tengo un problema de origen y tengo que hacer un cambio radical. Me cansé de ser autoritaria y excluyente. Me cansé de estar rodeada de hombres que creen saber lo que es mejor para el resto. Me cansé de esta falta de amor y empatía. Ya no quiero ser la vocera de esas ideas ni de esas personas. Quiero pensar que puedo ser distinta. Quiero ser una carta magna representativa, inclusiva, no represiva, escrita por muchas manos. Estoy lista para ser realmente histórica.
Hola, buenos días o buenas noches, depende de dónde estés ahora. Te habla la Constitución Política de la República de Chile, o como me dicen en mi país, la Constitución de Pinochet. Creo que necesito hablar con alguien y ese alguien eres tú. ¿Puedes oírme?
Cae, 1, 2, 3, 4, en cabeza. Al centro de la tierra. Caen cabezas, ojos, puertas y colchones. Cae una bola de nieve. Computadores, calculadoras, calcetines. Se cae. Y caes tú también.
I think this is one of the best practice example, an outcome actually of the uprisings in Chile from 2019, that now a group of the most diverse people in Chile are currently writing on the new constitution. So honestly, I'm thrilled by this, and I'm very excited to see how this process is evolving now over the next month until the government and the parliament needs to decide whether this new constitution is going to be implemented in Chile. And speaking about community, there is a community, there is a team that without them we would not be able to do the festival. It is our festival team. And our love, our gratitude to all of them. We currently have more than 70 people working on developing the festival for you. Those are the people that are with us at Johannes Kepler University, where we already have our offices. And we have many more that currently work in the museum, that currently work in the Future Lab, to dig deep in all to those programs. So recently we actually made a tour for our team members, walking through the festival location, telling them about the different projects. So like we do it with you, we actually also did it with our very own team, because as you can imagine, every one of them is digging deep into their tunnels to developing the projects and their programs. And in the end, it's rather difficult to stay on top of things, to know what your neighbor is doing, what the people around you are doing. So I think it's most important that also the team knows what is happening in the festival. And we had a lovely walk around the Johannes Kepler University campus. In the end, we did this beautiful photo. And again, thanks so much for spending the summer with us. Thanks so much for holding up this enthusiasm to really have a fun festival production also this year. That's almost our last session. We have one more to come where we introduce you to the different locations in Linz and have a walk through them to meet also the protagonists that are organizing the programs in those different locations. And we welcome you again to join us in the coming weeks. Thanks so much, and of course join us for the festival. Thanks so much, and see you soon. Bye-bye.